An Athens County man was sentenced today for 21 counts related to the sexual assault of children. Robert Collins of Gloucester, Ohio, was sentenced to 110 to 175 years in prison after a 4-day trial from Athens County Common Pleas Judge Patrick Lang. The 21 counts include 5 counts of rape, 1 count of attempted rape, 2 counts of corrupting another with drugs, and 3 counts of gross sexual imposition. Athens County Prosecuting Attorney Keller Blackburn said in a statement, quote, "Collins should spend the rest of his natural life in prison, never to victimize children again. Too many have been hurt by his horrific actions. May the victims heal, and may he serve his remaining days locked securely away," end quote. Turning to the weather.